Hello viewers, we welcome all of you to the 2020 IYF Online World Camp, and we trust you are going to enjoy the third day of the presentation. What we're going to talk about are the following: evacuation procedures, early warning and detection system, housekeeping, and how we can contact Ghana National Fire Service in an emergency situation. Now, the reason why we want to begin with evacuation procedure is that whenever there is fire or emergency, the emphasis, though on the property and we want to salvage everything, the emphasis will be on humans. So when we're talking about evacuation procedures, all what we mean is that in an emergency situation, how best you can comfortably leave where you are to a safer zone. That is all what we mean. So let us say that you are in a room or in the office or wherever you are, and you realize that there is fire. Certainly you have to move. But as you move, how do you go about the movement? Because you are panting and you are thinking about your life, you may think you have to run. Take note, when it comes to emergency situation, we do not run. The reason is that once you begin to run, there is the tendency of getting tripped over an item and then you fall. And especially so when you are many in the room. Once you fall, the others will walk over you. That is going to cause stampede. So note, do not run in fire emergencies. But how do you go? Walk briskly. So we use brisk walk. Now, the reason why it is important for you to walk briskly is that as you walk briskly, you are able to get a firm footed ground, and then you walk nicely, you do not fall. You want to take notice of that. Another thing, when you realize that within the shortest possible time there is thick smoke in the room, do not stand and be gazing about as to where to get the door handle or how to move. When you do that, you waste time. It has been observed that in fire emergencies, people who die in the confined area die not as a result of the fire burning them, but as a result of smoke inhalation. So once you waste time at where you are, you will inhale smoke. And once you inhale the smoke, you are going to become very weak, you drop and then you die. So, what do you need to do? When we have thick smoke, just drop down. The reason is that smoke is very light, lighter than the normal oxygen in the atmosphere. So once you get down, you'll be able to get fresh air to breathe. Then also you can see clearly, and then you go to the doorway and then you exit. This is very, very important. Another thing that we want to take notice of is this. Do not gaze about or look around. Where is my phone? Where is my tablet? Where is my bag? The reason is that once you look for your phone or your bag or your tablet and you are able to get it, the next thing you would want to remind yourself of is that where did I even put the charger? Then you will go and look for the charger. And mind you, the fire will not be waiting for you to get all of these things before it continues spreading. Before you realize you are in a dangerous situation. So you want to take notice of these ones too. When it comes to designing, we want to let the public know that whenever we are designing, our final exit door should always open outside. The reason is that when it opens outside and there is an emergency situation, you just push it and then it opens and you go. But when it opens inside and you have to take about 2 steps to get to the door, and the 3rd step you get out. When you take the 2 steps, because it opens inside, you are now going to bring the 3rd step inside, then the 4th one to the door again before you go. In doing this, you increase your travel distance, and this is also not good. So make sure as we design our buildings, final exit doors should always open to the direction of travel, or it should open outside. We trust This little evacuation procedure will go a long way helping you to know what to do in an emergency situation. Let us talk about something else. Early warning and detection system. In fire emergencies, something should tell you that there is fire before you are able to leave the premises. So these things come together and we call them early warning and detection systems. Example of these systems is smoke detector. Now what I'm holding here is the battery operated smoke detector. What it does is that it picks the smoke and then sounds alarm. So this is installed beneath the ceiling. In an emergency situation or when there is fire and you have not detected it or you have also not seen the smoke, this will pick the smoke and start to sound pim 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 for the occupant to know that there is fire. You look for the fire, and if you are able, you take the available fire extinguisher and you put it out. Another example of the detection devices or detection system is break glass call point. And this call point is connected to what is known as electronic sounder. This is an example of the sounder. So it has two cables, one to the source of power, the other one to the break glass call point. So when there is fire and you hear that the smoke detector is sounding, all what you need to do is to go to where the call point is, break the glass. It triggers the to sound alarm. And once this sounds, everybody will know that we are in an emergency situation, then they can go out. So wherever you go, it could be the banking hall, it could be the shopping mall, or any other facility. Once you enter the place, look left, right to see some of these things. Once you see them, then you know that in an emergency situation, you need to activate them. That is, break the glass of the call point and the sounder will also sound. These are not the only detection system we have. We have what is known as the fire alarm control panel. The fire alarm control panel serves as the nerve center of the detection system. What it does is that it hooks together the call point, the sounder, and the smoke detectors. But normally we use these in large facilities. So once there is fire and the smoke detector picks the smoke, it gives signal to the fire alarm control panel, which in turn tells the sounder to sound, and the sounder also sounds. One interesting thing about this control panel is that most of them are zone coded. So once we hear the sound of the siren, the one responsible goes to where the control panel is. Because it is zone coded, you look at the panel or the window and it will tell you the address of the fire or where the fire is. Some of them will even print out the location of the fire. You just go there, then you put it out. We want to tell you, the general public, that it is important to install some of these devices or systems as you put up your buildings, so that in an emergency situation, you will know what to do. Let us now talk about housekeeping. The reason is this: sometimes the things we do or some things we fail to do can contribute to fire outbreak. So we always want to make sure that our surroundings are kept clean. Let's talk about trash bin when it comes to housekeeping. Most of the times, our visit to offices and other areas, we see that people put trash bin just beneath their sockets, and that is the place they plug their items. And the reason why it is not good to place your dustbin beneath the socket or power point is that from time to time you hear tittle, arcing sound. Now what happens is that there could be flash of light, and all these things are as a result of arcing that is happening in the system. And these things come as droplets of fire. Now, when these things settle on the papers in the trash can or the trash bin, they will start burning small. Before you realize, this has become big fire. So we beg you, know where to position the trash bin. Certainly not under circuit points. Apart from that, we also see people hanging curtains on air conditioners. This is also not good, because if there should be fire from the air conditioner, once it gets in touch with the curtains, they will start burning. So whenever you are hanging your curtains, please be mindful of the position of the air conditioner and hang it accordingly. Make sure you allow sufficient space around the AC. What about napkins in the kitchen? A visit to some kitchens also suggests that people are interested in hanging kitchen napkins on top of the stove. Well, you may think for easy accessibility, whenever you want to clean your hands, you can just reach out for the napkin and then clean. But as you are cooking and the napkin is also there, nobody knows when that napkin will fall on the fire. Once it falls on the fire, you know napkin is very combustible. Once it falls on the fire, it will start burning. And before you realize, this has become big fire. So please, know where to hang your napkins. You could get a hook for the napkin far from where the stove is. Still in the kitchen, make sure that whenever you finish cooking, you do not turn the stove off right away. Go to where the cylinder is, turn off the knob on the cylinder, that is on the regulator, allow the gas in the tube to burn. Once it finishes burning, the fire will go out automatically. Then you can turn off the stove. The reason is that when you finish cooking and you turn off the stove, it means we still have gas in the line, just that it is not coming out. And this gas is also under pressure in the tube. The next day, if you want to cook, or the next time you want to cook, you light it, you open, the gas comes with force. And if you are not careful, you burn yourself. So we want you to take notice of these things. Now, once there is fire, you will want to put it out. So how do you put out fire? When it comes to fire service, when we have serious fires, big fires, what we use is water. That is what we use when it comes to firefighting. And that is the reason why we have fire hydrants dotted around the various communities. But we normally see that these hydrants are sometimes covered with kiosks and other things. Please, if you know the location of any fire hydrant and you see that somebody has covered it, just go to the nearest fire station, report. They are not going to arrest the person who covers it, but they are going to arrange for that thing to be removed so that the fire hydrant can become obvious or conspicuous for everyone to know that there is fire hydrant here. Make sure you also have fire extinguisher at home at all times, so that in an event of fire outbreak, you can quickly go for the portable fire extinguisher, then you put the fire out before it even escalates. Because once it becomes big, it is very difficult for you to tackle it. That is when fire service will have to come. But in calling fire service, do you know their number? 112. This is emergency line. Once you call 112 and you report a fire outbreak, you will be taken to the nearest fire station. You talk to them and then you give them the address of the fire and they will come and assist you. What we normally hear is that people say There is fire, we call fire service and they didn't come or they did not come in time. Note that it is not true. When there is fire, people get panicked. Some even don't have fire service number. So they will be asking, hey, who has the number to fire service? Who has the number to fire service? And as you are trying to call, the fire is also not waiting for you. Sometimes you call a friend also calls someone at fire service. He asks you where the fire is before they try to call the fire service emergency line. And all these things will delay. When they come after 30 minutes or 1 hour, it is not because they are late, but that is the time they received the call. So take notice, it is 112. That is the number to call. Write it at the door of your kitchen, wherever you think you can write it, so that in an emergency situation, you can quickly and conveniently call them. We trust this piece of information will help you to be safe and try to be safe.
My name is Assistant Station Officer Isaac Ayonu from the Metro Fire Office, Tema, the training department. We are here to have a drill on the fire safety. There will be a fire in a pan here which contains petrol diesel mix. We mix the petrol and the diesel because when we use only petrol, it will burn rapidly and everything will finish. We use the diesel because diesel has a slow burning, and that is why it's mixed with the petrol. Now, we open it, we expose it to the air so that the air will support the burning. We are using this fire extinguisher to put it off. This is dry chemical powder fire extinguisher, 6 kg. The extinguisher has its components. It has the cylinder, the handle, the trigger, and then the pin, the safety pin. When you want to use it, you tear the seal, the rubber seal, and this is the rubber seal. So I tear the rubber seal, remove the safety pin, then you aim to what is burning. So I will call in my colleague to start the fire up, to set the fire, Now that is the fire in the pan, like I told you, petrol diesel mix. When you are to operate fire extinguisher, we use the term called pass. B, remove the safety pin like I removed the safety pin. A, you aim at what is burning. I aim at what is burning, that is the fuel. Then the S says you spray or you squeeze. So I will squeeze. The fire is off.
Shall we have it again?
Thank you. So I will call in my colleague to set the fire. Good. The fire is set. I remove the safety pin. You aim at what is burning, that is the A. Then you squeeze. So I will squeeze. And when you squeeze, you spread. You squeeze and spread it on the fire. The other S is saying you spread it on it so that it will be able to. But when you target one place, the fire will spread. You spread it on it. So I spread it on it. Thank you very much.